going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. I know we are back. The Pop Culture Corner, 2 shows in one. Well, no, technically today is a new day. But we are here tonight. Austin and I have seen the Suicide Squad, and we are here to give you a general non-spoiler, and then we'll transition into some spoilers maybe a little later. But we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a long time, and we're going to talk about some characters that were over the fucking top. Because might I say, whew, creative control must be really nice. But I'm joined by Austin Lean 316, is I believe.
That's right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Austin Lean 316.
No. Lean on me.
Hashtag lean on me. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's right. That's right. What's up, man? What's up? Are you, dude? I'm so jazzed after that.
Listen, man. Credit where credit is due. Austin kind of came in last minute on this one, and threw me the bone. I mean, it'll be different kind of going forward. Yeah. Because I didn't really know, I don't know. It's just credit where credit is due. Thank you, Austin, for doing what you did. That was really awesome. And I had such a great time from the experience, the culture, and the atmosphere.
And dude, it was so cool. We got to experience it.
We were
together,
doing the
but
same
apart.
exact thing, but apart. And
it was so great. It was great.
And it was a really fun experience. I thought so. Okay, funny story is, before we kind of break into the actual Suicide Squad and the movie, the greatness that is it. Here's a funny story. So Austin took a wheelchair. So not only were we experiencing the film together at different places, so Vegas and Boston, but Austin had a surgery.
I did leave it when I walked in.
Yes.
So.
But it's funny. Austin had a surgery and he's in a wheelchair. And I ended up in line number 1 and 2 with a woman in a wheelchair. And she's older. She's been going there for 20 years. She gave me her phone number. She made me download Pokemon Go. She explained the whole fucking thing to me. She's like, this is what this does. And, I kind of played along, but she was awesome and she was amazing. But little did I know Austin was on the other side of the country in a wheelchair.
Right. Yeah.
Probably doing the same thing to save someone. So I just thought that was a kind of fun parallel. And
it
turns out
we had, it was fun. I was making a lot of conversations with a lot of random people. So that's pretty accurate.
Yep. And guys, if you have any questions about the movie, in a non-spoiler way, not about the plot or characters or anything like that, if you do have a question, you could send a super chat. We'll definitely read it and stuff like that. Then we'll transition for the people who have seen it, but we're trying not to ruin it for anyone. And we're still in live in July, so we're raising money for breast cancer. If you can help out, that would be most appreciated. And we do it for you. We do it for the culture. So let's talk about this goddamn movie.
That's right.
So, I just want to make a couple parallels here, and I said it the other night too. This was kind of a way for 2 entities, one being James Gunn and one being the Suicide Squad franchise. It was a way for both of them to kind of move on and kind of a fresh start. Right, James, with his tweets and and he got called out and for whatever reason tried to get canceled. First guy ever to not get canceled after being canceled. Actually, to get more jobs once he was canceled.
Right, yeah. To immediately get hired, yeah.
Yeah, but and then with the Suicide Squad, what happened with that? So it was kind of weird. It's they were a perfect match, and then I was so excited for James and that. So my thought process here was when they advertised it as the horribly beautiful mind of James Gunn. At first, I didn't like it, but now I'm kind of coming around to it because it was that kind of moving on phase for both of them. And this movie, you do not know what's coming next. For me, it was unpredictable. It was fun. It was over the top in so many ways, but that's what kind of made it what it is. Who's your favorite? Ratcatcher 2 was dope, by the way.
Dude, there are so many characters that about 30 minutes into the movie, you get the feeling, people are going to die.
Yeah.
30 minutes in, you're like, you start getting a little attached, and you're like, oh man, I just don't know if they're gonna make it or not.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it becomes such a thrilling, fun. It's thrilling in such a fun way. Usually when you say it's a thriller, you think it's dark or something. But it's a thriller in such a different way. In that you have no idea what's going to happen. Like you said, you have no idea who's going to die. Everybody's up for grabs. Ratcatcher 2, I think, but for me, I got to go with, and I knew it from the start, and it's cliche. I don't care. King Shark, man. King
Dude, yeah.
Shark. Come on, man.
He was, I mean, he was, it was this movie, like I said, it had, and James was not lying. It had the most DC characters that I've ever seen in one film.
Yes.
Yes. What do you think? Like, okay, after coming out of this film, after coming out of seeing this movie in particular, because we have to remember, this isn't a Justice League movie, right? Right. This isn't. Yeah. These aren't heroes. Do you think that James Gunn could take on a franchise like Justice League now?
I find that directors like him, when they found that's really good, whenever they pick certain challenges, it's the next level. And I think that would be next level for Gunn, right? He's shown several times that he can handle an ensemble. Like, one thing I talked about before that I was worried was like the humor. I was very worried about the humor. But it fits so well, I thought. Good.
I definitely made out what you said, but you're kind of cutting out. I don't know if you want to jump back in, but no, but you're absolutely right. King Shark for me was the character that kind of was not the glue for the team, but it was the character that like when he was around, you kind of, he was like the muscle, right? Like when he was around, like you knew that they got the brunt. But then like with Peacemaker, Peacemaker was a character that I could not figure out. And I did like his arc. I enjoyed Peacemaker's arc a lot. I didn't know what I was expecting with Peacemaker. And I know we know like he's getting a show. So we knew that he might survive. And that's a very well a possibility. Not to give anything away. I just didn't know what to expect of his character. He's a little flamboyant, but for the most part, dude, John Cena, I gotta give it to him. He's been doing pretty well, like with the Fast and Furious, and then this. I mean, the guy made me laugh, and I know that people were like kind of upset about some of the jokes that he was making, but when you see it in context, it comes off differently. It definitely comes off differently. Him and Bloodsport are like going back and forth. And then Ratcatcher 2 like jumps in on it. So like the trailer took it out of context.
Yes, it did. It did. And that was one thing that I was going to say is that I was worried about the humor. I was worried about it. That was the one thing I didn't like about the first Suicide Squad is they went in, they tried to make it funny, but this worked. It was still dark. It was still really dark stuff.
Dude, there were moments where I was like, "Oh my god, dude!"
Yes. Oh, like our theater. I don't know about you. Our theater was cheering.
Yep.
Wicked vocal.
It's a Boston thing. Yeah.
I know. I was like,
Our theater. I've been in IMAX.
We were cheering. Yeah. We were screaming. So much fun.
I've been in some IMAX theaters that were loud, but this was different because I think it was that energy of like, hey, we're all seeing this like together. And then, okay, I'm going to get off on a little tangent. This is the communal experience that you're missing when you stay home and watch it on HBO Max. That moment of, say, someone getting their head cut off and the whole theater at the same time, right? Like you're in that theater and with an advanced screening, they let you in like 30 minutes early. You're sitting with everyone. You're kind of talking with the people behind you. And I just like, you're missing that when you stay home. Do not see this movie on HBO Max. Get out to your local theater and watch it on any big screen that it's available on, because this is a movie that you're going to want to see the way it was intended.
Even if you see it alone, if you see it this weekend, go see it because that theater will be your friend. I promise you. It is like you said, Ty, and especially these advanced screenings, like you said, everybody there was comic nerds. The only reason they were there was because like they were excited about this movie. I talked with so many people about the Snyder cut, about the Ayer cut. I talked to them about Pop Culture Corner. Yeah, I gotta hype this up a little bit. But
actually,
it was.
You know who I met was MCU Direct and Direct.com.
Really?
They have like 116,000 followers
I
on.
Followed them. I followed them.
They took this picture for me. Let me load it in there. But keep talking. But yeah, so I'm because we both like went up to like the little banner, like the poster. It was like
right. Yes.
So we both went up to it at the same time after the movie. And he was like, "Oh, where are you? You know, yada yada." We got to talking. I was like, "Oh, I host a podcast, and now I write for GWW." He's like, "Oh, you follow me, and I follow you. My name's MCU Direct." So he took this picture for me. So shout out to MCU Direct. But you gotta frame up better, man.
Right. Hey man, he's a journalist, not a director.
Yeah. But overall, I did give the movie a 93 out of 100. And that's probably, to put it in perspective, I gave the Snyder Cut a 94.
You know what? I was going to say something. I think DC now has the two best comic book movies ever made.
With the Snyder Cut and this one?
With the Snyder Cut and the Suicide Squad.
I could get behind that. I think this movie is better than Guardians.
It is, and I love Guardians. I love Guardians. But yeah, this movie was just, oh man. And you know, so many great emotional moments that you don't expect too, that just really, really, really hit you. Out of 100, dude, I'm like 95, 96 up there.
Damn, 95.
I literally, you know what? I sat and I thought about it. I thought about it on the drive home. All I could think about it was, I don't think I can find one flaw in this movie. Even as much as I didn't like John Cena, I did not like him.
You didn't?
No, I don't like John Cena. but
he was so heavy in the presence.
He, you know, I can't. It was written well. He did a good job. Like, I have to put my bias aside and go like, yeah, no, there was.
And that is what movie journalism is about putting your bias aside for the film.
That's what we do.
And listen, I think James wrote Harley so well. Harley Quinn. There's a scene with Harley Quinn where James has already talked about this publicly, where she does a stunt where she twists up, puts a key in the lock with her fucking feet, with her toes, and she really did that. And he was mad because the lock kind of covers her face in the scene, so it looks like he's trying to hide a stunt double, but it's not. He was like, dude, it was really her. You know, and then she confirmed that it was me. I was like, no, I got this. Don't bring the stunt team in. Like, I got this. The moment
that scene happened, that her legs start to lift up, our theater went, whoa!
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, you just knew it was.
So there's a sequence that takes place. It's kind of similar to the Birds of Prey jail sequence.
But on steroids.
But this is what I wanted from that movie. This scene in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is, and I looked at the lady next to me and I was like, that's what I wanted in Birds of Prey. Because she was balls to the wall, Harley Quinn, like not one fuck was given. And I loved every minute of it.
Another thing too is I did get around to reading some older Suicide Squad comics before the movie. This is as far as I'm concerned, that right now I think it's the most accurate comic book movie ever made.
In terms of characters, dude,
Harley it was like the page come to life. It was seriously. I mean, there's also, you know, this great opening sequence too, or during the opening sequence where she's just running in the middle. It's in the trailer, but she's running in the middle of all this gunfire. She's oh god, you're just like, dude, yes, like this is what I wanted.
And whoever hired Pete Davidson, don't do that again.
No, he was great.
No, he was not.
He was great. I'm ready
No.
for his spinoff, the Black Iron spinoff.
Get out of here, dude. You know what I'm ready for? Is a Bloodsport and a Ratcatcher 2 Falcon and Winter Soldier type spinoff. A buddy, like it was like a father-daughter kind of relationship. And Ratcatcher 2, listen, I'm telling you, you're gonna go into this movie and you're gonna go, who the beep is Ratcatcher 2? And then you're gonna leave the theater going, I need to know more.
That might be
one
of my favorite comic book characters.
Yes.
Yeah. I like
and we get a cool little nod, I guess. We get a cool little nod to who Ratcatcher 1 was, and you're really gonna love that as well. Listen,
I don't know if you caught
Josh Brolin in this movie, because I thought I saw Josh Brolin when they.
I caught the girl that plays Mantis in Guardians. She was in it. I caught her. She was one of the dancers in the club.
Oh, dude, that club scene is wild.
One of the best.
Wild.
Oh my gosh, dude, that scene is so, and it's great fun. Because the movie's nonstop. The movie it's really nonstop.
In the way
and it's such a great like.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
I like how they put like the titles and like the, like he hides titles in the movie, so like it'll be like Operation.
But I was gonna say, if that felt like a little nod to the Snyder Cut.
You think so? Okay, because it kind of splits
he's
up
adding just like Snyder did. He's adding chapters into his movie.
Okay,
and so I kind of liked that. I thought that was really cool, actually.
Interesting. I didn't think about it that way.
That's all right. I'm probably overthinking it, but I was thinking that would be super nice if it's just that's his little way of going, like, because that's such a cool thing you'd be able to do after the film is made, after the edit is done, so he could have seen the Snyder Cut and gone like, my little nod to that.
Yeah. And what's up, guys? Geek Studios, Kinky Sphincter, Nick, Adam. I know it's a little late for everyone. I know that.
But people are getting pumped, right? They're like, they're talking about it.
So I'm, I don't know. As far as Starro goes.
Oh man, I was looking at my my friend next to me.
The way they do it though is it's James did a good job of like building a villain and then not having the villain be like the main focus.
Yeah,
it was so weird, like, because the way it's written, and you'll see the way it's written, like everyone's a villain outside of your Suicide Squad, right?
Yes.
And that's like kind of the thing. They're on an island full of hostiles, and everyone is trying to kill them, right? So you have villains in every sequence, and then all of a sudden you get to this third act, and you're like, oh, I forgot this thing's coming.
It's called the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And you lose a lot more friends. You lose a lot more friends once Starro comes.
It's great though.
And even Nathan Fillion's sequence with the detachable kid.
The detachable kid. Oh my gosh, I was just like, dude.
The lady next to me was like, that was gross. I was like, yeah, yep. That was weird.
It was great though. It was good. I will say, there are some. I was listening the other night to the panel, and Carlos was kind of like, I'm a little squeamish. I'm not crazy about the gore. Carlos, I don't know. You may want to cover your eyes a lot. Because it is pretty gross at some moments.
Even right at the opening, literally the opening 5 seconds, you're like, that's when the whole theater was like, ah.
You know what? Somebody said when that happened, there's a moment in the opening 5 minutes, and when that happens, somebody goes, oh, it's going to be that type of movie. Okay. And I was like, oh, did you not know, dude? Did you miss the trailers? But
you see a lot of things. Yeah, you see a lot of things that you would not normally see. And that's what I was kind of explaining to the guys before is this is not a movie that gets made unless you have complete control.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm assuming James had free reign, and what he's saying is actually true, because this movie, if they had worries about Zach's film, being like dark in places.
The executive should have had a heart attack watching this.
They would literally, they would do like
roll
Harley.
over and die.
Yeah, they would do like Harley, and they would shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this is and oh my god, there's so many characters that I keep forgetting. Bloodsport was amazing.
Oh,
Bloodsport was amazing. I thought
Idris Elba.
I thought this was a cop out because they couldn't get Will Smith back. However, I was so captivated by his storyline, and it does feel similar to Will Smith's storyline. However, I didn't think about that once until after the movie was done. I was like, oh yeah, I could, you know, I forgot about, you know, yada yada. But during the film, like when he has a talk with his daughter,
Yes.
it did not go the way I thought it was gonna go.
No, it's just good.
I thought it was gonna be a heartfelt like.
But you know what, man? Like I said, there are moments of this movie that are everything's so over the top, and then there are things that just catch you by surprise, because even in that moment, right, it gets really funny and crazy, and then it's just like she hits him with something. It was like, oh, you know,
yeah,
and it moves the story forward. That was one thing that I think James has just nailed, is moving the story forward in such a great pace, at such a great, in such a way that is, you know, he's building on all of these characters, and there's so many of them at the same time. He's, you know, introducing new things. It was just really a lot of credit and hats off to James. I think this guy I think I texted the group chat. I was like, I'm doubling down. Let him run the DC universe. I'm cool with it.
So you'd be okay with him literally running the DC universe?
If this is any indication of how it's going to go, absolutely.
You know what? And this is the crazy part for me, is like, I was like kind of like half-assed, like, do I really want to see the Peacemaker show? And obviously I was going to watch it no matter what.
Yeah.
But now I'm not missing any, like this show is the next thing that I'm waiting for.
Right. Dude,
especially coming out of DC, I'm like, give me Peacemaker. I'm already gonna have to wait 5 weeks for Titans to like get caught up.
I know, right?
So,
and like I said, I don't like John Cena, but I'm gonna watch that show. I very much look forward to you know, to watching it and to seeing. I really, really do. I'm super excited. But I mean, for me, I think another great thing about it too was, and one of my favorite parts was Amanda Waller. This was the Amanda Waller, and she got you know, she did a great job with the first one, with the, you know, kind of PG-13 you know, rating and PG-13 umbrella. But this is the Amanda Waller from the comics.
Yeah. She dialed it in, dude.
Oh man.
There's a moment with Bloodsport in the beginning that literally had my heart pumping. There was so much tension in the room that I was almost on, like, I was on the edge of my seat.
I was sweating.
She dialed it in. Every single person in this film dialed it in, and was just, they must have been having so much fun. And yes, Amanda Waller, like, this is the Amanda Waller that I wanted to see in the first movie. But here's the thing, for anyone, this is a must-see movie for not only DC fans, but fans of the superhero genre, simply because this is the way stories need to be told. They need to be told with no strings on their back, and they need to be told the way that a comic book would write them. And that's not always the way you think they should be, right? Mm-hmm. So we need to give these creators freedom to create, just like the artists create and the writers of comic books create out of thin air. We need to let these directors do it. This movie is straight up, does not try to connect to a larger universe.
No.
There's slight references. Harley doesn't even say the Joker's name. However, she references him.
But there's a sequence. There is a sequence that
there
Harley gives that is just
mind-blowing. But the good part about this movie is, like I said, it does not try to connect to any bigger universe. It very much stands alone. However, it makes it so clear that some of these characters have worked together before. So it comes off the back of that studio air cut. I know, like, that's not what we want, but I mean, when the film opens, you know that, like Harley knows Captain Boomerang and they all know Rick Flag. Like they make that known. So it does connect, but it also doesn't try to connect. And I thought, I mean, that's what makes any good, as if you're making a film, it needs to be a film, a standalone movie. It needs to be able to be told with no prior or post, right? If you're making like a new film, it's not a sequel to another movie, which this movie, some would say, is not a sequel. Like it's being kind of referred to as like a fresh start. So yes, it does say like, oh, there was a cut of Suicide Squad. There was a theatrical Suicide Squad. Yes, but this is something different. And James made it known. I mean, this movie was great. Like I said, I was totally into it the whole time. Not a minute to waste. Harley, Captain Boomerang, like I said, Ratcatcher, King Shark, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, the girl, the freedom fighter, which I didn't, and then even even Milton, I loved.
Oh God! Oh God! Milton, dude. Milton, you actually. Oh my God! I can't believe I actually forgot for a second. I feel like the team now. Anyways, wow. That was great. And you know what? While we're talking about it too, kind of Polka Dot Man.
Yes, surprisingly refreshing.
Wow.
But his sequences were so screwed that it was just so weird. Dude. It was such a weird character, but I love
that scene where and it's in the trailer again, where he goes, "I'm a superhero."
Yeah.
What you see right before that is just probably one of the greatest things I've ever seen in a movie ever. That was it's so wild, it's so off the wall, but it's also such a DC movie and such a comic book Suicide Squad. Like it really is. It's something to behold. It really is. It's so nice as a DC fan to feel this way and feel this right now, because it's like, this is a win. This is a win for me, dude. DC released a great movie.
And look at this. Black Widow is not okay. You guys know my feelings. And there hasn't been one movie in the pandemic that I've said, I hate this movie. You know why? And like, and listen, Jack will sit there and like try to like make fun of me or do whatever like impression he wants. But listen, first off, I want to say to you, Jack, you wouldn't be where you were if it wasn't for me. So shut the fuck up.
Oh God.
No, I'm just kidding. I love you. But Jack will make fun of me saying I like everything. But
yes, I honestly, would too.
I've gone into these things without, that's the reason. But here's the one thing I didn't like was WandaVision.
That is true.
But the reason is I've tempered my expectations every single project I've gone into, right? Mm-hmm. I haven't gone in with any expectations or any preconceived notions. And I've gone in with a fresh mind each time, and I've taken out what I've enjoyed each film.
Yeah.
But Black Widow, I liked it, but it's not really doing so hot in the box office right now. Once James Gunn's Suicide Squad gets into theaters, Black Widow shouldn't even it shouldn't even be on the slate anymore, because no one's gonna walk into that theater. But do you think that we're transitioning into a DC time, like the time of DC?
I mean, look, obviously,
people might be bored with Marvel.
We haven't seen The Flash. We haven't seen what else is next. But I will say, if The Flash is even close to being anywhere near as good as the Suicide Squad, DC has a very bright future ahead of itself. I really think so.
According to my dude, I know we have a bet on it and like stuff, and that's all for fun. But I really do like it. You're right. If The Flash is even if it's even like 70% as fun,
as good as this,
I'm taking it and I'm running with it. No pun intended.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Like I'm excited for The Flash, and I'm excited for the future of DC finally. Black Adam, like I know I was even hyped for when like the fandom trailer came out for Black Adam. Like not trailer, but you know what I mean.
Little cinematic that they had.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. But like I said, if Black Adam and The Flash can be remotely fun, or at least tell a good story. I think DC isn't finally, and I hate to say it because people want the Snyderverse back so much, but like I said, we have to. You might not like it, but we have to accept it, and that's what it is. Like we have to
look,
accept.
We got an announcement today that I know everybody's favorite Sean O'Connell, right? Everybody loves to jump on him, but you know what, man? I gotta agree to a certain extent in that today we got announced that J.K. Simmons is in negotiations to return as Gordon,
which
for
would
the
be
Batgirl flick, which means that's the continuity of Batflick.
And that's HBO Max, where we all said that Snyderverse would probably, if it's going to exist anywhere, it's going to exist on HBO Max.
And that's the first indication, if any. And look, if that's how the Snyderverse lives on in little things like that, like next to Batflick series or whatever, whatever, and things like that, I'm cool with it. We still have same Wonder Woman, the same Aquaman, the same Flash. I really don't think, especially after this week with the set photos, I don't think that they're going to erase Ben Affleck's Batman. It doesn't make sense to me.
No,
it would mean just it would destroy that movie if they did that. It really would. You saw the excitement this week over the photos. People was like, "Oh my God, he's back!" and like. So
if you erase a character like that, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're isolating one solid, huge group of fans that are immediately going to be turned off by that happening. So you're better off just like, if you're going to do anything, you're better off just like pushing it to the side somehow, not burying it, but pushing it off to the side. And like, if you want to introduce something else, like, whatever, but like you cannot erase like, and oh, by the way, we at Pop Culture Corner want to wish the crew members of on the Flash that were injured get well soon. These stunt people do take on a lot, a very great deal of
risky business,
battering and bruising, and they're the ones that put their lives on the line for these films and for stuff like this to get made for us. So we wish a speedy recovery to the person or persons. I don't know if it was multiple. I think it was only one guy who was injured. We wish you a speedy recovery, and we wish to get you back on set soon because we need you, man. Total respect for people that do that stuff, man. Because I know I couldn't. I do. I know I couldn't. So, guys, let's get. I'm gonna kind of split it up with this for live sake, but let's get into some spoilers. All right, guys, now we are officially in the spoiler talk of the conversation. We were going to do 30 minutes of each. So if you haven't seen James Gunn's Suicide Squad, we will not be offended if you take off now. We really do understand, but it's time for that little talk. We're not going to get into too much, but if you want to kind of go in with an open mind or not know anything, this is your chance to kind of skedaddle for a moment. But like I said, we're not going to give away too much, but we are going to talk openly. So that's the reason that I kind of put it up there. So, Austin, what was your favorite? What was your favorite sequence in the film?
Wow. There's about 20. Oh my gosh. I think my favorite sequence. Dude, there's so many good ones. There's a great sequence with King Shark where he's kind of walking around the prison and then he sees this aquarium and he's like, friends, dumb friends, and he starts running around with them and then Starro breaks through, right? And he's swimming.
No, it's the bombs. Oh no,
that's the bombs. That's right. There's bombs that go off and the place is flooded. And now he's kind of swimming with them, and they're all looking at him. They're really cute and stuff. And they basically turn into these little piranhas that just start going at him. And you're like, what? Because it was such an adorable moment.
Yes.
Not even 10 seconds before.
And that is also not that specific sequence, but in that entire sequence, like the overall sequence that's happening, is where mine takes place. And honestly, mine is when they kind of cut back to Bloodsport. And
8 minutes earlier, the 8 minutes
yeah, the
earlier
8 minutes
part.
earlier part.
Yes.
Because I kind of like, yeah, the movie starts, the movie opens, and you kind of think Savant's the main character. You kind of
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, you're following Savant through this. You're very much following Savant through this opening sequence. And I was like, is he gonna be the main fucking character of this movie? And I was like, there's no way Michael Rooker is the main character. And he's not. He's not. And then we transition, and I would believe if I were to make a case for anyone to be the main character, it would be Bloodsport or Ratcatcher 2, or maybe even both of them at the same time. They were like, they're the ones that we got backstory on. They're the ones that we got like their family. Like we found out about Ratcatcher's family and Bloodsport's family. They're and then obviously Polka Dot Man. We got like some weird sequences of his childhood trauma.
Great, Ryan. I see you just showed up in the chat. Ryan, what's up? But we are talking spoilers, just so you know. I don't want to.
We're not like we're not giving away anything like crazy.
Nothing crazy yet, but just so you know, it's just you are aware. But yes, the scenes with Polka Dot Man.
Go back to the first 30 minutes and watch.
Exactly. But Polka Dot Man, the sequences where like you said, he has a childhood trauma. He's an experiment. There's another great scene where
what's an intergalactic virus? It sounds terrible. I mean, we have
which, by the way, I know that there's a great reference to Star Labs.
Yes,
and that his mother worked at Star Labs.
Yeah.
And experiments on them.
Well, I guess that's kind of a generic reference. It doesn't really connect anything, but
no, it is.
That's a Flash. That's a Flash thing. And I mean, it's an everywhere thing. But we get mention of Belle Reve. I mean, they're in Belle Reve prison, which isn't. It doesn't look like a prison. It kind of looks like a shack from the top. But in Belle Reve, we get a lot of character Easter eggs.
You actually get to see Calendar Man.
Yes.
And there's a great. It's so funny because it is funny, but it's great character exposition. That's so quick, but explains so much as to who Polka Dot Man is. His interaction with Calendar Man. And just kind of how Polka Dot Man reacts to what he says and how he takes it.
And Polka Dot Man's the only one that we see in the prison with a power dampener on.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Yes, he's the only one. Exactly.
Everyone else is kind of either isolated in their own tank or they. Dude, who's that guy behind him?
I don't know who that one is, but that's Calendar Man. This is the scene that I was just talking about. Yep, there it is. Sean Gunn plays Calendar Man for a brief moment.
And listen, I would love to see like more glimpses of him in the future because Calendar Man's a character that like just recently got kind of cool.
Yes, especially with the Law on Halloween, and that being out. But Double Down is behind him, is what our producer Caden says. That's Double Down, who's a Flash and Arrow villain.
Oh, okay.
So
that's pretty. So there must have been at least like 40 DC characters.
Oh, dude, there were so many, and I love that he just used so many characters, and that I think we talked about at one point that he said he used Polka Dot Man because he's the most hated character in the DC comics, or who's like the most unknown, or the dumbest. I think it was the dumbest. He's the dumbest character. It was Polka Dot Man, and he used that. I just think it was so creative and so fun. It's funny. The more I think about it, the more I like it. The more I can't wait. I'm gonna go watch it again in theaters. Definitely gonna get a group of my friends, and we're for sure going next weekend.
And there's also the humor. Okay, so there we have Amanda Waller, right? But this time, her team they're not just background actors. They're James Gunn's girlfriend, and then I'm not sure what the other guy's name is, but the bigger guy, and then the whole team, like you kind of like they're all involved, and they kind of have this cool like behind Amanda Waller's back. They have this bet on like who dies when or whatever, and they're all taking bets and like
Steve Aggie. Yes.
Yeah. So this time, like it's Amanda Waller, but then also a couple other people that are directly working as the eyes and ears for the Suicide Squad. And you start off the movie, she's assembling the Suicide Squad, and their Team Alpha, and you go into this battle, and you forget. Like I forgot that Peacemaker, Bloodsport, King Shark, Ratcatcher, Polka Dot Man. I forgot they were in the movie. Everyone starts getting lit up. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? What is going on? Is it going to be like is this like someone's dream? Is this Savant's like prediction? But nope. No,
that's it's reality, baby.
Amanda Waller's so dirty that she put a distraction team together.
I love it.
And
without telling the
other team. So there's a whole Suicide Squad that's literally the Expendables. Like they are the distraction. But what was weird is she put Colonel Flag and Harley on that team. So I was like, she was prepared to lose Colonel Flag and Harley, which is
or she knew that they would be the leaders and the only two to make it out.
You cannot make that bet.
She plays it so well, doesn't it? She plays it so well. She plays it like she knows, and that's what I love about Viola in this character, in this role, is like you said, dude, she's so dirty. She's so dirty. There's actually a point where one of the characters in the room goes, "You weren't gonna actually do those things that you said," and she goes, "You don't know the half of what I would do." Oh, bro! I literally was like,
his name's John in the movie. I just remembered because that's what she says. She says, "You don't know the half of what I would do, John." And I was just like, oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I was like, oh, and didn't she, when she said it, and even the frame is like, I could see it framed as a comic panel. Literally, I was like, oh, dude, so many moments like that.
I really wouldn't want to be on her bad side. I do not want to be. So, and then the Harley thing, she like has sex with the new president, and then goes on this whole like suicide, not suicide mission, but like she goes on this whole like deranged mental state.
Was one of the greatest scenes in a comic book film ever. By far, Harley's greatest scene on screen. I will go as far as to say that was her greatest scene on screen. It was so good. It was just so like you said, it's this moment where it's kind of like a fantasy. She's spending the day with the president and all this, and it's very Harley Quinn, and then all of a sudden it just turns, and she did you already give it away? I kind of spaced out.
I did not give it away.
Okay, yeah, but something happens. It's big, and it's just it's she gives a monologue that is so Harley Quinn.
Super, like you're like you kind of start questioning her mental stability, and you're like,
that's
are you really okay, girl? Like,
yeah, which is exactly what we should be doing with Harley.
Yeah. I was like, should you really be here?
Yep.
And then she it's funny because she finally like she gets her javelin back, and she just starts tearing mother apart.
Which, by the way, another great. That was such a cool little way of how she gets the javelin.
Yes, and we all know that there's another guy in the film that is directly a javelin person. So we know that if Harley's carrying the javelin, someone else isn't.
Together.
Yeah,
right.
By the way, that sequence was so funny when he he dies and doesn't finish the sentence, and she's like,
oh
what?
My gosh. Yeah, and she's looking, and for a second she puts his hand in his face. I'm thinking she's not going to kiss the corpse. Nah, dude, she starts smacking the shit out of him and goes, "What were you gonna say? Wake up!" Wait, oh, I was dying, dude. I was like, "Oh my god!" Just like you said, man, you think something's gonna happen, and James goes the completely opposite direction,
way.
and it's so good.
And I was not expecting. So Peacemaker and Bloodsport have this amazing kill off, and then they end up finding out that
wow,
they killed the freedom fighters.
Dude, that moment, it was. I don't think I've ever questioned I've never questioned my morality more in a movie, because they come up and all that happened, and then she's like, "Why didn't my men alert me?" And they're just like, "We didn't see any men. We don't know what you see." And dude, it was like, oh man, they killed all the good guys, but it was so funny the way that, like you said, they literally have a dick swinging contest, Bloodsport and almost Peacemaker, literally. And it's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal.
So they're both, and it's funny because like we already, like Amanda Waller, when she's like, because then after the expendable Suicide Squad gets taken out, it kind of goes back. It goes back to her assembling the actual Suicide Squad, and she describes.
That was very clever, very clever. I like.
I love the way it was written. The story was written so well. And then not only was it written well, but it was shot amazingly. Like I would love to see the script, how the script looked, and then how it came to fruition. Because when we pop back to the let's call them Bravo team, when we pop back to Bravo team getting assembled, she explains Bloodsport to the other members of her Amanda Waller's team. And then she explains Peacemaker to Bloodsport with the same exact description. And he's like,
yes, that's exactly what I do. He's like, but I do it better.
And that's when their like little competition like starts. And then it comes back and they have this whole, it's like Operation Save Colonel Flag from there's
a great moment that I was dying at when in between that where Bloodsport goes, "Nobody likes to show off," and Cena goes, "Yeah, unless what they're showing off is super fucking cool."
No, it's it was not unless what you're showing off is dope as fuck.
Dope as fuck, yeah. And then Bloodsport turns around and the camera's on him and he goes, "Fuck." Oh, yeah, like, cause it's like he's right. That was really cool what he did. Oh my gosh, dude! I was just like, it was so many.
It was a compression explosive bullet. So he turns the gun and shoots back and hits the dude in the shoulder. And Bloodsport's like, not fatal.
The dude's still standing. Yeah, dude's still like, moved out.
Bloodsport was like, yeah, it's not fatal. And he's like, it's a compression explosive bullet. And then
the dude disappears.
Literally. The gore was dialed up to 11.
It was pretty wild.
King Shark rips someone in half. I think we all knew that already, but when he does it, I was like the way and then like you literally see brains, you see everything. Like James was
everything. I'll be honest with you. You already said, and I think pretty much everybody, the first character everybody thought was gonna die was Pete Davidson. So I'll just say it. He gets literally half of his face blown off. And
he wasn't the first to die. Oh, well, okay. So listen.
No, I didn't say. No, I what I meant was no. Since everybody was guessing, like he's definitely gonna die.
Well, technically, he was actually, because we find out that the other character. Whatever. We're not giving that one away. But
I thought about mentioning that, but I'm like, no, that's too good.
So that's just for anyone's frame of reference, if you'd like to know, there's a scene that happens. I'm not going to explain it, but just to ensure that you're staying for the exact amount of time that you need to. I'm not sure. Caden, can you let us know how long exactly the movie is?
2 hours and 12 minutes.
Okay, there it is. It was short, but it felt longer.
It did. It felt right. There was never any moments where I was like, it never dragged. It never felt too long.
Isn't that crazy? This was the first movie that I can say that I probably don't have. You're right. I don't think I have one critique.
maybe when I watch it again, I'll find one. I don't know, but
I can't
right
tell.
now,
I can't
and
tell if it was the atmosphere and the experience,
I think so, a little
or
bit. Definitely, I think a little bit because, man, that was like you said, overall the experience, dude. Like being in that theater, and I love that we both had vocal crowds. It's like you
very
don't
vocal.
always
I
get
couldn't
that.
even believe it. Yeah,
Uh,
they're like the whiteys that clap when the plane lands.
That's exactly what these guys were. They were
Yeah.
clapping, they were cheering, they were laughing. It was, oh man.
Some people don't like that. They're like,
Yeah.
I like when movie theaters are quiet. It's like, yeah, you also fucking live in your mom's basement. Get out of here, man.
I think it definitely depends. I think with comic book movies, if any, those are the ones to do it.
If you didn't
sure.
cheer when Captain America catches
Oh.
Mjolnir, you need to get your head checked.
Yeah.
Literally,
you may not have a heart.
Because I've my theater, I was in a 1 day early advance IMAX screening for that, and my theater literally, it turned into a football stadium, and I'm not talking about American football. I'm talking about European football. Those crowds are nuts, and there are some characters, by the way, that like I didn't know were in the movie, and they didn't make it, and Kinky just brought one of them up. Was Mongol. I didn't even know that she was in the movie. I really didn't. But now I see her in the promotional art. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Another thing to mention too.
She's there again too. I didn't even. Jesus.
She was there. She's really love Joel Kidman's new take on Rick Flag.
And he says it in the little Q&A thing after.
Right after. It was great. He
says that it was weird because he got the experience. So he did one Rick Flag, right? He played one version of Rick Flag, but he was kind of like he got to restart and play another version of Rick Flag. And I thought that was kind of cool because in the same spectrum, we also have the girl who plays Ratcatcher 2 say, I don't even have a comic book character to go off of. I'm making up as I go. Yeah, there's a Ratcatcher, but there's no Ratcatcher 2. And she's like, so I could kind of play with it and do whatever I wanted. So I thought not only did James Gunn get some creative freedom, but I think the actors as well. Like I think they were able to kind of improv, and I think this was, if I was to guess, I would say this was probably one of the more fun sets to ever be on. It didn't have the Joker like the first one, not pulling Joker tricks like giving you dead rats. Not to bring up rats again. But by the way, lots of rats in this movie, lots of rats, and so I think this was this is a creative masterpiece, and I think it was so touching and beautiful, in its sincerity, because like I said, it didn't try to be a superhero movie, but it also didn't try to not be, and it just did its thing, and it did it for 2 hours and 12 minutes non-stop. There was you get right into the action literally 2 seconds in, and I thought that was going to be a problem, but it turned out not to be, because I was like, oh, there's no buildup, but there is a buildup. You just haven't experienced a buildup like that. This is a completely new experience for me, was the way that this movie made its transitions. It was crazy, to say the least. And I'm super, super happy to say that finally a DCEU movie made me get, like, I didn't even want to leave the theater. I was like, I could do this again right now. What's up, Super Universe?
Super Universe. Is it is it released?
No, we caught thanks to Austin. We caught so how many days early are we?
We're a whole week.
Because when does it come out? Next
Friday, technically. So we're about 8 days.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, we're kind of just talking generally about it. Honestly, I don't. So I mean, we're giving like some stupid little stuff away, not any of like
we would give main big things. Yeah.
I don't believe in doing that. I don't believe in ruining it for anybody. But honestly, I am so excited to see this movie again. It's definitely a must watch, guys. This movie is, like I said, if you're a DC fan, listen, speaking from heart to heart, if you're a Snyder fan, you need to drop that going into this movie.
You do.
I'm not saying that as a bad thing.
No.
I'm just saying you need to go into this movie without the mindset that you want this to connect to the Snyderverse. You just need to just stop thinking about that and go into this one, because you're gonna come out pissed if you go into that. Really, like I said, the only connective tissue here is that some characters know each other, and that's coming off the hind legs of the Suicide Squad theatrical cut. And honestly, they kind of dead that real quick too. Like they kind of move on from it pretty quick, like because some characters just don't make it. So
Exactly.
You know,
and I wanted to address real quick. I'm trying to bring it up here. There's a tweet. There's always a tweet. Ty. There's always a tweet. But there was a tweet, and I just thought, man, what? I'll say it. Just what ignorance.
Oh, the one you sent to us earlier, right?
Was it the one
about the box flop
in the chat? Yeah, probably. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Suicide Squad flopping critically, but making $748 million better. That's better than the Suicide Squad getting 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and flopping commercially.
Yeah, that's very ignorant to say.
That is the most BS because let me tell you something. Money aside, Ty.
Yeah.
Money aside, I walked out of the first Suicide Squad, and I know it's not David Ayer's cut. I know that wasn't. But aside all that, I walked out of that movie as a fan incredibly disappointed, heartbroken.
Yeah.
Almost. It just was not.
I definitely. I mean, I feel you on that because I honestly tried to defend it for a long time.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing with like the theatrical cut of Justice League. Like I'll be the first one to say it. I tried to defend them until I found out what actually happened.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And yes, maybe I am biased, and maybe I just want to like everything. But is that a bad thing?
No,
I don't think so.
Good thing. No, not at all. But yeah, as a fan, it felt good to walk out of this movie as a DC fan and just feel like, man, what a win! It's so nice to have a win. It's just nice to have. And this isn't just a win; this is a triumph for the DC universe, if you ask me. Really, it is. It killed. And I know people are saying Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter, blah blah blah. You know what? They nailed it on this. Rotten Tomatoes nailed it.
Yeah, see, I didn't put it up that high. I mean, I gave it a 93, which I mean, that's a 93%.
Yeah, I guess.
It's at 97% though. I mean, it's only got 70 something reviews, 76 it looks like.
Yeah.
But
it'll probably drop to 96, 95.
I'd say it falls to at least to 95. I think at max this movie will come out with a 95.
The highest rated DC movie.
Listen, yeah, I was just saying there is not a chance in hell that if it dropped to 95, that's a bad thing. Because if it drops 2 points after a theatrical release or a whatever day and day release, dropping only 2 points, that's still a huge success.
Yes.
As far as if you actually want to count this as like any way of, structuring success. I mean, it's going to come down to money and views, right? That's how we're going to determine success. And I think that this movie, word of mouth, is going to spread like wildfire for this.
Yes.
Because this movie is just a good, fun time. It's not a friendly. It's not you bring your kid movie to.
No.
But let them see it when they turn 17.
Exactly.
Get a babysitter.
Exactly. And you know what? I think it was probably you that mentioned it.
Not anymore, Belle Reeve. We're kind of wrapping it up here. We're just kind of talking about the score now at this point.
But you kind of mentioned it. In the beginning, is that? Oh God, I kind of lost my train of thought there with that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But commercially, I really do think that once this goes theatrical and on HBO Max, I mean, listen, I'm not saying having it on HBO Max is going to be a problem. I'm just saying if you really want to experience it, I would say go to the theater. If you can't, if you have 10 kids
Yes.
and it's literally out of the cards, you can't go to the theater because you'll bankrupt yourself because you have 10 children for some weird reason.
Understandable.
Watch it on HBO Max and you're still gonna like it. But you have to see it. It's one of those movies that you have to see.
And I remember this is you said it earlier. This is a great example of what a DC movie looks like when the executives don't get involved. They let James have full reign, full control, and we've seen that now. We've seen that it's a great movie. We saw that the Snyder Cut is a great movie when Zack was able to do what he wanted without, even though they still took Jon Stewart and all that out, and we're still bitter. But we're starting to see that DC makes great movies when there's no executive interference. And I am excited. So I think, just lastly, for the people that are saying, "Oh, I'm not seeing this movie because of Warner Brothers or because of whatever," just try and think, A, it's different executives now. B, overall, if you want to ever see good DC movies, this isn't the way to do it, because boycotting them or boycotting the movie is not going to hurt the studio. It's going to hurt the movie, and just tell them, okay, we won't make more movies like this because we already know WB's dumb. So that's how they'll take it. So guys, please, don't take it out on the filmmaker and the creatives of this, because I'm telling you, it is absolutely worth your time and worth checking out.
I believe Matt Jarbo actually went and saw it today as well. Yeah, I saw it on Instagram that I think he went. I'd love to, Matt, let me know what you thought of the movie. We're kind of just giving scores now. Let me know if you kind of land with the tomato meter or you have a different opinion. I gave it a 93. No, what did I give it? Yeah, I gave it a 93. Austin gave it a 90, a 99 or something like that.
96.
Something crazy like that.
I'm just driving home from Seattle now. Love the movie.
That's awesome. And look, and it's kind of cool because like I forgot this feeling, because like I came out of Black Widow and I was like, okay, that was a good movie, but
even Marvel didn't do it for me this year.
Yeah, I came out of this movie and I was excited and I was talking to people about it and I was like,
I haven't felt that good since Avengers Endgame. I'm
telling you, even the Snyder Cut. Like, it was so long that like after it, I was like, damn, I need a nap.
But I'll be honest too. I think if I would have seen that movie in theaters, if that movie would have been in theaters, it would have gotten the same reaction.
Oh, listen, I love that. I just told you. I gave the Snyder Cut a point higher than I did this. But
yes.
Like the Snyder Cut, like it took motivation to see that thing.
there are moments where it does drag. Yes.
It took effort to watch it.
Yeah. I do argue that I don't know, maybe for me
I don't think it dragged.
It's a pretty easy watch for me.
It's an easy watch. Yes, but I'm saying you need to like invest into watching it.
Yes.
You need to take a 4-hour block of time and devote it to seeing one film.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
and that's a long time. So it's just
it is.
But I came out of Black Widow kind of like, okay, that was a good movie. Like, yeah. But I came out of this one like I said, a hype talking to people. No, I did not see Jungle Cruise yet, but I heard it was absolute trash. That's what I'm hearing.
You're honestly. Kidding, right?
I'm not kidding.
I've heard nothing but great things.
I've heard nothing terrible things.
That it may be the next Pirates.
Well, it's at 63 right now.
It's not terrible, but it's not great.
No, I mean, Fast 9 got
pretty mixed. Whoa, 90.
Oh, Jesus! The audience scores at 90%. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter. People like it.
Nope. I make bets on audience score, so I'll take that audience score over it any day. I really will. Okay, so I was hearing from critics though, obviously, clearly. Critics and audience are really split on this. I can't believe that. I'm probably gonna go see it tomorrow.
I probably decided. I think I decided after hearing some of the reactions on Twitter. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to see this.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go see it tomorrow.
I'm not going to see it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I am going to see The Green Knight. The Green Knight is
that's out.
Second most anticipated film this year, and
that thing might be up for Best Picture. I've heard.
Look at the reviews for that. It is. They're calling that one of the best pictures of the year, and I'm so excited. Ooh! And look, guys, I know I'm gonna tell you right now, audiences and people, you're gonna either love or hate this movie. This is an Arthurian tale. And so there's a lot of kind of old, King James Bible language, Shakespeare type language.
This is a movie for critics. If it sounds like
it's definitely a movie for me though as well. I love Shakespeare and I love Arthurian. It's fantasy and all that.
Listen, if you want to paint Ben Affleck with blonde hair, I'm going to see it, no matter what. I don't.
Yeah, dude.
Nothing else matters to me. I'm going to see it. I'm going to go see.
But this is very much in the vein of where that's a true story. This is very much in the vein of like Camelot and that type of stuff, or Excalibur. And just kind of things like that. There's a grand epicness to it.
Super Universe asks us. By the way, not to say anything, guys, but. I said, if you want to ask a question, send a super chat.
But I mean, he is asking about sharing our video.
Or be a member. So there's an option on StreamYard that allows you to share your screen. And there's other ways. If you ever need help with anything, you just let me know. I'm always available to help with any professional I can always help in any professional way possible with any technical things or whatever. Let me know if you need any help. I always like to help out friends. And then Ty loves a blonde Affleck. Yes, I do, because I've never seen it before. Listen, I'm all in on blonde fleck.
Blonde fleck? Oh god.
Start the hashtag. Get me blonde fleck all over every movie.
And mullet Damon.
Give me more blonde Ben Affleck in a medieval Camelot kind of film. Just give it to me. I'm actually
give it to me.
Tomorrow I might have to do a double header with the Green Knight and Jungle Cruise. So I'll go see. Okay. I'll go see Green Knight first, and then I'll finish it with Jungle Cruise.
There you go.
So I'll get into the movie, I'll get into it like the Green Knight, because it'll be more serious in tone, and then I'll finish it with some ridiculous cruise movie with The Rock that probably is really fun.
Yeah, probably gonna have a fun time.
Is there a villain in the movie?
Yes, yeah. Jesse Plemons plays the villain, I believe.
What is it? A pirate?
I think he's a Nazi.
Oh my god.
It's always a Nazi, dude.
It's always a Nazi.
It's always a Nazi.
I just don't know what Jungle Cruise is. I don't understand.
I don't either. But I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I don't understand what the concept is. They're on.
But I'm kind of okay with not knowing, because now I'll be surprised if there is a good concept. And I'll be like, oh wow, there's a story to this.
Interesting.
Cool.
If you know what the Jungle Cruise actually is, let me know below.
Right.
I really don't know. I don't understand the concept of it. I don't understand what the plot. Where are we going? What are we doing? With the Green Knight, I understand.
We're going on a Jungle Cruise, Ty.
Yeah,
that's what we're going.
How is that a movie?
There's gonna be. I think isn't it about the Fountain of Youth or Fountain of?
That's something? That's like taking Pokemon Snapshot and saying we're gonna do a movie about that. It's what's the point?
Kaden, our producer, said it's National Treasure plus Jumanji.
Okay, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah,
that's not my problem.
I think a real.
What Zach said. Zach is always on point.
It's not my problem, man. It's just not my problem.
Make your dreams come true. Just do it.
That one was
Just imagine he was going to be Rick Flag.
No way.
He was up for the Suicide Squad 2016. Yeah, he's friends with Ayer. He's great friends with Ayer.
Listen, I do want to say one thing. No. David Ayer put out a statement today.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say that.
And we're going to do like a longer stream about the whole thing. Because to me, it spoke to me personally, because, you know, I know what it's like to battle with certain demons like that he fought.
Sure.
And be in places like that. So like what he said really did speak to me, even though someone should have read through it first and edited some things. There were a couple spelling mistakes that I found. Just saying, David, you know, if you need my help ever, I'm available. Just throwing that out there. But David said, like, David kind of like put an essay out and like explained some things. And I like, you know, I have more respect for him today than I did yesterday. The way he relates, the way he connects the sentences and relates it all back at the end was like, I understand what he means. I've been in places like he's been in. So basically what he's saying is when WB up and changed my movie, I couldn't do anything about it. They're the ones who paid for it. They're the ones that funded it. They're the ones I reported to. I put my head down. I answered questions, and I didn't snitch. Basically, what he's saying. He's like, and I'm not going to.
And he's not going to. Yeah.
So stop asking is basically what he's saying. And honestly, I respect the man more for that. He says, you'll never know what happened in the submarine, and you'll never know what happened here. So
and I love that.
And
then of course in the comments, what are the first thing that
happened in
the release the Ayer cut fandom is? Oh, we're ready for you to tell your truth. And he just did.
By the way,
that's the end of it.
Dear Release the Ayer cut community, I do not support your movement on the day before. I do not think that that's appropriate. So if you want to do it like a week after, good on you. Do your thing. I just don't support the way you're running it.
I don't even think a week after.
Like, well, it's like on James Gunn's birthday, and it's also a day before this movie comes out. It's like that's being toxic, passive aggressively.
Yes. And what makes you think that Warner Brothers is going to listen to that? Because I don't remember the Snyder fandom ever being like that. We were doing that when we were asking for the Snyder cut. We never really. It's like you know, like
you're basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to hijack a release because you feel that you. I just don't understand. Like James Gunn had nothing to. James Gunn has only been supportive of David, and David's been supportive of James. And you're gonna like this community, like you think that's gonna get it made or get it put out? They're only gonna look down on you because of that.
Yep.
So I would think twice, honestly. And yes, we are on Spotify. I would honestly think twice before doing this little thing, this little stunt.
I'll just be honest. You know,
because I'm gonna have less
the release the Ayer cut community. I don't know if they. You know, I know it's some of the same people from the Snyder community, but it's like, I'll be honest, you guys have gone off the rails. You guys have gone off the rails with not only the stuff with you know, the release of cut, but what I've seen them saying about the Ayer or about James's cut and James Gunn's movie, and what they're saying to some of the other Snyder fans that do want to see James Gunn's movie is. And they're being called non-Snyder fans anymore. It's just, they've become, that whole Ayer cut community has become incredibly toxic. And I unfollowed them today, actually, because I was I want no part of this.
I unfollowed the Release the Ayer cut account when he double-crossed Ray Porter.
Yeah, and I didn't even know. I wasn't paying that close of attention until I started seeing this week. They went after the Nerd Queens, and they went after Point Dexter, and they went after. I was like, "Come after us next, dude! I'm ready." Like,
hey, come after me! I'm armed. Homie.
Come after me, dude! I'm already. Armed. I've been quoting their tweets for days, trying to piss them off.
I'm armed with information, and that's all I need.
Listen,
the one guy in the world that's the sweetest human I've ever talked to, ever met, told you He doesn't want to be associated nor quote tweeted anymore by you, and that's Ray Porter. If you can piss off Ray Porter, like all dark side stuff apart, I get the jokes. Like, yeah, he's like
Yeah.
I get it. But all that apart, he's the sweetest guy, and you pissed
really
him
is.
off because you kept using a portion of video that he made for you as a like it wasn't he made it in Darkseid's voice, but the way the release the haircut thing, like the way they like promoted it was like he didn't support, like he asked them to not do that and they kept doing it. So that's when he had to like put a stop to it. And once they did that, that's when I was out. And I just listen, I want you to do your thing. I have utmost respect for every single person on the planet that pushes for creative freedom. I just don't think the way that it's run is correct. So that's just my opinion. That's just our opinion. But I do want to say that like David Ayer, like, man, you spoke to me today, and like I had a lot more respect for him. Like I said, today than yesterday. I think he nailed that. He nailed it. Because to me, he finally spoke. Because I probably asked him to come on the show 117 times. I don't think he does it. Like, I don't think he does interviews like this, and that's okay. But we kind of found out like how David's life, like how he got to where he is. And that's not a life that anyone wants to take. It's hard. It's trying, it's uncomfortable, and it's cold. But if you can get out of it, like David has, then you know, you can come and tell your story and be the one to give the next person a shortcut, right? Because the way I see it is like all that stuff is advice, right? So take it and use it, because he's not just saying it to say it. He's saying it so you don't go through the same things that he did. So and that's for everybody, right? Like all your older folks and stuff, when they say something, like when they try to give you advice, always listen. Because like I said, they're just trying to give you a shortcut because they probably messed up the same way or done something similar. So, you know, I just make sure that you're doing the right thing. Austin, you have anything else to add before we make this like super dreary?
No, I think obviously go see this. Yeah, we're just ending on a super sad note, guys. Go cry yourselves to sleep. And no, I'm kidding. Obviously, guys, we've said it 1,000 times before, and I will say it 1,000 times more. Go see the Suicide Squad in a theater. It is a must. It's an experience not only for yourself, but to experience with other people of the like mind, other people who love comic book movies, action movies. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. And you know, when you're done, make sure and come back here to the Pop Culture Corner to check out our review and our breakdown. And as we get closer, I'm sure we'll be talking more spoilers and stuff.
This is a movie that I probably won't stop talking about for 2 weeks.
Yes.
But I'm also going to be, I slept all day because I'm prepared.
I did as well. Yep. I did as well.
I will also be writing a full page review for GWW, and I'll link it on the channel or something. I'll find a way to spread it. But I'll be the one that's reviewing the Suicide Squad for the website. So and for Titans. So look out for both of those reviews. You know, it's kind of cool. The Pop Culture Corner is going in a cool way where we're getting to see stuff early and we're getting to review stuff early. So, you know, a lot more cool stuff's going to be coming, a lot more exclusive stuff. So I would definitely advise that you become a member of the show so that you can get that information. It's the key. No, guys,
we do exclusive before the exclusive.
Exactly. Get the exclusive. The inceptive. Right. The inceptive. I was gonna combine the words. It didn't work. They don't combine.
Right.
But honestly, guys, come back. We're
make sure to check us out this weekend, guys. Wayne T. Carr.
Wayne T. Carr will be on the
Love
show on Saturday. I'm also recording a show tomorrow
Yes.
with someone. So we have a lot coming, a lot more in store. August is going to be chock full of surprises.
Dude, we're ending the summer big with August.
Yeah. All right, guys. So make sure that you see Suicide Squad when it comes out. Follow us on social media at pop_culture 2020 or at alien LV 1023.
Yep. That's it. You got it.
All the links for everything that we talk about are in the description of every single video. So if you ever forget, just click on a video, click more information, and all the links are there. Please donate to our breast cancer fund. We have a couple days left. I'll leave it open for donations, but as far as super chats, member fees, and all that, that'll be for the month. So remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't. If this is your first time at the Pop Culture Corner, we want to welcome and thank you because we do it for you. We do it for. I gotta let Kaden get the outro ready. The culture.